from the DILG. You are recognized. Please state your name and your position, please.
Good morning, Your Honors. I'm Attorney Earl James B. Saludo from the DILG Legal and Legislative Liaison Service Appeals Division. Well, I was just notified about this hearing last night. So I'm not in the position to give my comment to the proposed measure.
In the last hearing, sir, we have given the notice the ILG. Actually, I think we have presented the comments before. Si Yusef Llamas. Can you kindly ask Yusef Llamas about it? And we'll be asking you later on about this. Yes, Congressman Paduano, please.
So, yung sa DLG, have your head or your personal dedicated to you to attend this meeting?
Yes, sir, on the last evening.
Last evening. Eto kailan yung invitation natin sa opisina ng DLG?
But I'm not familiar, Your Honor.
Yan ako. Israel again.
I'm sorry.
But you know why you are invited today?
Yes, sir. Perhaps it has something to do with the administrative case of Police Major Porcincula and others.
I think you have the wrong information. You were invited for the purpose of discussing the body-worn camera. So, were you not been informed by your higher authorities under the DILG to be present and in order to discuss the body-worn camera? What information have you gotten?
But they just furnished me this letter invitation dated February 9, 2024.
Can you kindly sabihin ko, read it first. Pakibasa po, tingnan natin kung ano laman ng invitation sa inyo.
Dear Secretary, address to Secretary Abalos.
Okay, sige.
It reads, Dear Secretary Abalos, the Committee on Public Order and Safety invites you or your duly authorized representative to its regular meeting on February 13, 2024, Tuesday at 10 a.m. Speaker Villar Hall, South Wing Annex, House of Representatives for the following. The draft substitute bill to House Bills number 3853, 4708, 6202, 6312, 7602, 8158, 8352, an act mandating law enforcement officers to use body-worn cameras during law enforcement and special police operations and providing funds, therefore, introduced by Representatives Gustavo S. Tambunting, Luis Raymond L. Ray F. Villapuerte Jr., Miguel Luis R. Villapuerte, Kiyoshi Anthony Hori G. Coribata, Brian Raymond S. Yamsuan, Rex Gatchalian, Edwin L. Olivares, Richard I. Gomez, Jocelyn P. Tulpo, Ralph Wendell P. Tulpo, and Camille A. Villar. Continuation of House Resolution number 1471, resolution calling on the House Committee on Public Order and Safety and other appropriate committees to conduct an investigation in aid of legislation on the alleged involvement of the officers and personnel of the Philippine National Police assigned at the Office of the Chief PNP, National Capital Region Police Office, and the District Special Operations Unit, Southern Police District on the commission of the crimes of unlawful arrest, arbitrary detention, robbery, extortion, and grave coercion against 4 female Chinese nationals by Representative Romeo M. Ako. For confirmation of attendance or inquiries, please contact the committee secretariat at the above telephone numbers or email us at committee.publicorder@house.gov.ph. We look forward to your presence and active participation. Thank you. Very truly yours, Dan S. Fernandez, Chairperson. Reporter Chairperson, signed, Flor L. Gonzalez, Committee Secretary.
Wait, before you proceed, Congressman Paduano, Chair would like to acknowledge the presence of Congressman Richard Gomez. So, Congressman Paduano,
Chairman, ganito na lang
go
po.
ahead.
Ano ba yung position mo sa DLG? Why you are the one to represent the Secretary?
Well, I'm the officer in charge of the Appeals Division of the Legal and Legislative Liaison Division.
Eh, ba't siya ang pinadala dito, Mr. Chairman? Siguro, Mr. Chairman, you have to send a communication to the DILG Secretary with regards to the representation of his office. Kasi, ito, binasa mo na lahat-lahat. But when the Chairman asked you about your presence today, yung question of the agenda, ibang case, sinasabi mo, but when you read, the invitation napakalinaw po. It's all about body-worn cameras.
Yes, Your Honor, among other matters.
Ano, among other matters, that is the matter for today's hearing.
It's not only written on the other matters, Legal Officer Saludo.
Yes, sir.
It is written in the first paragraph of your letter that the body-worn camera will be discussing here. And that is,
Yes, Your Honor.
yeah, that is the precise letter that I have written to the Secretary of DILG. And if that was submitted to you, dapat alam mo na pag-uusapan yung body-worn camera.
Chairman, previously, who was the person represented sa DND during the previous hearings with regards to body-worn cameras?
Yusek Llamas. But we heard that Yusek Llamas is abroad right now. That's the reason why he cannot come over. But unfortunately, there was no clear signal on the issue that we will be tackling, especially on the body-worn camera. This is very imperative sa body-worn camera kasi this is in relation to the next agenda of the House resolution that was filed by Congressman Vice Chairman Ako. And that's the reason why we wanted to discuss fully and lengthy again the body-worn camera. Dahil dyan po tayo nagsimula ng problema doon sa resolution na pinahal ni Congressman Ako. Congressman Paduano.
Yung date, paki-check mo yung date ng invitation.
February 9, sir, Your
Oh,
Honor.
February 9. Now we are February 13. Anyway, Mr. Chairman, again, siguro kailangan doon official communication coming from the chair addressed to the Secretary of the DILG that this should be informed. Next time they should send representative from his office that can answer questions with regard to the agenda in our meeting, Mr. Chairman.
Clear. Klaro po yun, Congressman Paduano. Thank you so much for that reminder. And we would like to remind all of the resource speakers that have been invited in this hearing. Huwag natin baliwalain po yung ating po mga invitation because we are really serious on tackling yung mga problems ng ating pong bansa. And we need the right cooperation of the right people that we are inviting in this hearing. But before we proceed, the Chair would like to acknowledge the presence of Congressman Bobby Pambia Hermano. Okay, so we'll be proceeding to the next agenda. Kung wala na pong issue kay...
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Congressman.
a rejoinder po as far as Congressman Paduano is concerned. Representative from the DILG, wala?
Siya, si Legal Officer Saludo.
That's the point that we are facing right now. Kasi, are you authorized to answer all queries and anything that comes out of the blue as far as body cam is concerned? Because I was just instructed to attend this morning. Siya ang instruction. Yun na po, Your Honor, yung sabi sa akin na tumagal lang po dito. Dahil kasi normally po, with your kind indulgence, ang usually kong umaten dito yung mga taga Legal Research and Assistance and Legislative Liaison Division. E sa ngayon po kasi marami din po silang mga scheduled na committee hearings na dinadaluhan. So, they are in the house right now? Well, pwede naman ipatawag natin. Isang kasama na namin. Pero nasa social services so siya, yun yung ata sa kanya.
With the provision of the chair through the COMSEC, may we remind na sana yung first hearing natin, subsequent hearings, yun the same persons ang mag-a-attend para there will be a continuity as far as what we're discussing here. So as far as the DILG is concerned, we need your input sana. Anyway, this would be a reminder to the DILG department na kung pwede or not pwede, gawin talaga ninyong mandatos na pag pinatawag yung committee, whatever committee, you should attend. So I think this would serve as a warning, Mr. Chair, for them to give priorities to the committee hearing. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, thank you, Congressman Palma. We will not only reminding them through words, but we'll be writing a strong letter to them na huwag nating baliwalain yung mga hearings like this, no? Sadly, importante yung mga comments sana, but since wala, we will be going to the next invited resource speaker. The Department of Justice, we have invited them. Are you here? Attorney Angelica Di Malanta, you are recognized, ma'am. Please state your position and your name, please.
Morning, Mr. Chair. State Counsel Angelica Di Malanta from the legal staff of the Department of Justice. Mr. Chair, we are actually in the process of finalizing our position paper. However, with the indulgence of this honorable body, if we may allow to have a read-through of what may be expected of the position paper.
Can you speak louder? Hindi madinig ni Mr. Richard Gomez.
So, Mr. Chair, good morning, and the honorable body. I'm Angelica Di Malanta, State Counsel of the Department of Justice. We are in the process of finalizing our position paper on the substitute draft bill on the mandate of law enforcement officers to use body-worn cameras during law enforcement and special police operations. However, with the kind indulgence of this honorable body, and as we are finalizing our position on the matter, if you would allow a quick read-through of what you may expect, or will you just be awaiting po yung position paper of the department?
Of course, we will be waiting for the position of the department. That's the reason why we prepared this to the technical working group. Again, you will be invited in that technical working group. But initially, what we wanted is to your overview of the totality of the bill. So,
Yes,
if you have a comment on all those House bills that have been filed in this committee.
So Mr. Chair, we do have a position on the substitute bill of those House bills.
Please delete the substitute bill because this is not yet a substitute bill. The technical, nagkaroon lang tayo ng error for that. But this is we haven't come out with a substitute bill yet. We're about to do that in the technical working group. But this is the initial deliberation. No, this is the second initial deliberation. This is the second deliberation of this matter. No, because of the importance or significance of this body-worn camera. And that's the reason why we wanted that to be committed back to this mother committee and be referred to a technical working group. So, we have given you a longer time, no? Kasi na-discuss na to dati eh. Probably, were you the same person who have been invited in this hearing? O,
yes.
Same ka, di ba? So, meron ka ng tinatawag na parang bird's eye view sa totality ng nagugulat kayo, no? Yan ang problema. Ito, tama si Congressman Paduano, kailangan po pumunta kayo dito. Prepared kayo. Kasi last time, we have discussed this fully, lengthy, and then, yun ang sulat namin sa inyo to discuss it further. Dapat meron na kayong, substantial comments.
Mr. Chair, well, we do fully understand. However, we were provided with the version of this substitute bill, a substitution of the previously mentioned House bill.
Okay.
Ito po yung position paper that we were preparing to provide the committee.
So you have read the substitute bills, supposedly substitute bill, nabasa niyo rin naman, di ba?
Supposedly substitute
So do you have
bill,
comments
sir.
for that para at least we can discuss it again here?
Yan, Mr. Chair, pending finalization of our position, we would be providing that we recognize the intention of the substitute bill, and while we interpose no constitutional and legal objections to this legislative measure, we do provide the following comments or observations. On Section 8, on prohibition on the use of body-worn cameras, it states there are the privileged communications wherein the body-worn camera shall not be allowed to be used, and we note that these are taken or may be similar with those enumerated under the revised rules of evidence on persons who are disqualified to testify by reason of privileged communication. However, the supposed substitute House bill did not include in its enumeration those made between husband and wife during or after marriage, save in certain exceptions. Another one, Mr. Chair, is that the supposed substitute House bill included in its enumeration the peer support counselors as part of privileged communication. However, such communication is not considered privilege under the revised rules of evidence. On Section 13, Mr. Chair, this honorable body, it indicates that the court, in its discretion, shall grant the use of viewing, copying, or disclosure of images and recording upon request by law enforcement officers. However, we seek to clarify whether the access to the recordings of different law enforcement agencies, such as PIDEA or DNP, pertaining to a single or same operation would require two different court requests. On Section 14, it states there that failure to observe requirements of using body-worn cameras shall not render the operation unlawful or render the evidence inadmissible. Facts surrounding the operation may be proven by testimonies of law enforcement officers, those involved in the operations, the subjects of the operations, and other witnesses to the operations. However, the kind indulgence of this honorable body, Mr. Chair, as you reminded earlier, that there is a CCTV bill that's also being pushed by this committee. The department notes that there may be other evidence which may establish facts surrounding the operations outside of the enumeration provided in the supposed substitute House bill, such as, but not limited to, the closed-circuit television or other video surveillance systems, which are already in place where the operations were conducted. And as a point of clarification, on the second paragraph of Section 14, it states there that law enforcement officers who fail without reasonable grounds to use the body-worn camera shall be held liable under existing laws. In the same manner, Section 15 states that failure to observe the requirement of using body-worn camera without reasonable grounds during the execution of a search warrant shall render it inadmissible. We seek to clarify if these reasonable grounds, which were referred to in the second paragraph of Section 14 and in Section 15, are the ones that are already stated in Section 6, which is the immediate threat to the officer's life or safety, which makes activating the camera impossible or dangerous. Finally, Mr. Chair, we note that the difference of the treatment of evidence obtained in case of failure to observe the requirement of using body-worn cameras during an operation and during the execution of a search warrant. Because under Section 14, failure to use body-worn cameras during operations shall not render the operation unlawful or render the evidence inadmissible. However, under Section 15, failure to use body-worn cameras during the execution shall render the evidence obtained inadmissible. So we are seeking clarity if this is really the intent on the differential treatment. And finally, on the same two paragraphs, there's the execution of a search warrant under Section 15. The non-use of a body-worn camera is justified only when the body-worn cameras malfunction. Only when the body-worn camera malfunctions during prior to the incident. However, for a law enforcement officer's liability under Section 14, the non-use of a body-worn camera may be justified on two grounds, which are malfunction or when allowed under this Act. So we also seek clarity on those two provisions, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. Kung nagbasa to. Congressman Awak, si Congressman Awak tapos si Congressman Paduano.
May I ask the good lawyer representing the Department of Justice, when did he receive the invitation?
The department's legislative liaison office received it on 8:59 Friday, and then it was forwarded to us yesterday at around 9 a.m. Ms. Representative Ako.
Yes, and you had time. I was listening to your discourse, and I think you have read the supposed draft bill with your clarifications to be asked. So, I'm just asking this question because you received the invitation February 9, just as the right time or the time also that the DILG representative received the invitation. Pero yung Department of Justice representative, nagawa niya yung trabaho niya. Samantalang yung Department of Interior and Local Government, he has no clue in so far as the issue at hand is concerned. Yun ang napansin ko lang, Mr. Chair. Kasi, napasa ko naman yung supposed draft bill, pati yung mga bills na kagaya ng in-author ni Honorable Gomez. May mga questions na tumatama yung Department of Justice representative. So, I'm just quite surprised that DILG and the DOJ received the invitation the same time, pero yung DOJ representative nakagawa ng kanilang comments and questions to be asked insofar as the provisions and the supposed draft bill are concerned. Yung DILG has no clue. So, yun lang ang aking observation na Mr. Chair. Kaya tama rin siguro yung mga pagtatanong ni Honorable Paduano. Kasi ako chairman din na isang committee, yan din ang napapansin ko sa aking mga committees. Paiba-iba yung dumarating, walang masabi yung ibang pinapadala, yung iba naman magsisik pa ng guidance. So I think, Mr. Chair, this has to be resolved. It is just an observation, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
We have to let them know, no? At least maganda yung naging observation ni Congressman Paduano, no? And we have validated yung mga gantong situation. this will serve as a reminder to all the reserve speakers that will be invited in this hearing, no? And to the following investigation, be prepared, no? Otherwise, nakakaya po, hindi lamang po sa amin, nakakaya din sa inyo, nakakaya sa taong bayan, dahil, napapanood na tayo, pinapanood kayo dito lahat, kaya pag pupunta kayo dito, siguraduhin nyo, prepare kayo. Otherwise, you will be put in shame. Unintentionally. Because lahat kami dito, nag-aaral kami, pinag-aaralan namin lahat ng aming pinag-discuss dito. And I hope that we are all government official. No? And for that matter, we have to be prepared. Sayang hindi nabayad ng taong bayan sa atin. Congressman Paduano.
Thank you, Chairman. This is just a rejoinder to the statement of legislation being made by Chairman Ako. Well, in fact, I joined Chairman Ako to the supposedly that was something that I said. But again, I'd just like to commend the good representative from the DOJ. Kasi, hearing from your initial, that is not yet final, di ba?
No,
Okay, tama, initial pa lang. Anyway, yung mga questions of section 4, 14, and 15, di ba? Yung question, parang hindi nagkatugma. Di ba? Kasi yung isa, medyo contradicting, di ba? Now, but Mr. Chairman, I do understand that ang question kasi dito is all about the actual number of or units needed by the PNP vis-a-vis the budget. Kasi as of now, well, in fact, just for the information of everyone, during the last year's budget deliberation, the plenary has the one who stands and support the budget of the PNP and particularly to give full budget for that body-worn cameras. Kasi ito yung crucial eh. Nakita na namin to, Chairman Akop, Chairman Dan at saka yung mga members of this committee, and in fact, kahit sa almost hearing naman ng mga katabulian ng police, nandiyan tayo eh. Diba? Now, this is very crucial and important for the PNP organization, especially when it comes to discipline. Kasi magiging deterrent to. Now, ang question kasi dyan, sa section 14 and 15, it's all about, I think it's all about, in my all humble understanding, but of course it has to be finalized and it has to be discussed during the inability of the subcommittee, which is now chaired by Congressman Sara. At ang consideration dyan is all about the budget siguro. Kasi, I do not know, but I have to ask the PNP siguro after sa DOJ with regards to the budget that was approved. Kasi as far as I understand, yung question of the numbers, napakalayo po. 9,000 na yung that was 2017 nata, no? Insertion pa. No, that was not in the net, that was not the regular budget. Here sa Congress, 9,000 units nata. Tapos out of the 9,000 units, sila na lang yung operational. Tapos yung next last year's budget deliberation, hindi ko pa po alam kung how much. But yung question of the DOJ, with regards to section 14 and 15, it is related, ma'am, to the availability. I think it's related to the availability of the body-worn cameras units that is needed and that is now available to the PNP. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.